So bright.
Okay, it says we are live. I just want to make sure we're live on YouTube.
Yep.
All right, we're all good.
All good.
All right, hey everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is really exciting. Never done channel live stream before. I'm joined here by my buddy Luke, aka Gally-Ardo, and we're really excited to talk about Pulp Fiction. I want to start streaming on Tuesday nights because I've made a tradition with some of the younger guys in my life that are around my age. We meet every Tuesday for movie night. Just because we're so sick of the new stuff that has been coming out in theaters lately. It's not entertaining. It's a joke. It's hogwash, and we're sick of it. So for the last I don't know, over 2 years, we've been meeting here at my place, and we watched the classics, and we revisited Quentin Tarantino's cult classic Pulp Fiction today. We've been on a binge of Tarantino's films. We just watched Hateful Eight 2 weeks ago, and I really liked that one. I think I might like Hateful Eight a little bit more than Pulp Fiction, which I think a lot of people probably would. I think most people are way more attuned to Pulp Fiction. I think Hateful Eight sort of, I don't know. I think it gets a little deeper, and I like how deep it goes. But yeah, Gally-Ardo and me, we're going to be talking about Pulp Fiction. We just got done watching it not long ago. Why don't you start us off, man? What do you think watching it again? Because it's been a long time since you've seen it, right?
Right. I mean, it's definitely changed my my thoughts on it because last time I watched it, it was like 5-6 years ago, and growing up, it now seeing the real world and being out in the real world, it really shows like the meaning of like the chaotic world and what actually goes on out there and how crazy it may be as seen in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like something I respect about Pulp Fiction and something I respect about just Tarantino in general is he knows how to capture like the rawest, ugliest form of humanity. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of times when these guys are saying things and it's like, you've thought these thoughts before. You've had radical ideas, nothing like terrible like what they do. But I mean, ideas, crazy ideas pop in everybody's heads. And I think, Tarantino, I think he's just so painfully honest, and he's definitely more twisted than I think most people. But I don't know. I think that's something I admire, though, is he's not afraid to express his twisted thoughts.
He doesn't sugarcoat.
No.
That's what I really enjoyed about the film. He did not sugarcoat a moment. There was not a dull scene in the whole movie, and that's what kept me focused and kept my attraction to the whole film and every different plot they showed in it and went through.
I think, you know what? I think like when I was watching it, because it's sort of like it's hard to figure out where the chronology is, right? Because we jump around in this like random timeline, and it's kind of hard to piece everything together. And at first, when I was like writing notes about the film, I thought that I had the idea that maybe Tarantino, he likes to just give us like just exciting ideas without really explaining what the point of it is. But as I began to think about it, everything had a purpose, and something like that just kind of popped in my head watching Pulp Fiction again was that he is an expert at following through with a consequence. When something bad happens to somebody, it actually affects them, and it changes how they perceive future conflicts. And we saw that quite a few times with Samuel Jackson's character. By previous things that happened in the film, by the end of the movie, he's sort of a little bit different. He's very philosophical, and he believed that biblical quote, guided his life. But then at the same time, he used that quote in the terms of like vengeance. But by the very end, he had sort of a completely different idea of it altogether. And that was because of things that happened right before that. So I think it's refreshing to see a story that builds on itself, you know what I mean? And characters that develop through trials, that develop together too. These characters, they're sharing all the screen time together. They're going through horrifying events, obviously. Pulp Fiction, oh my gosh. It doesn't really, life doesn't get much worse than what those poor boys went through in this movie, and those girls. So I respect that he's able to he's able to show that. He's able to show that we learn from these mistakes. We learn from tragedies, and that it affects the way we perceive future events, right?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
I'd like to point out what I en- enjoyed. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but what was it? Ezekiel 25 verse 17, when he used that quote in the or the Bible verse in the movie, I like to take a note that that's not actually like a Bible verse.
Oh, it's not Ezekiel.
It's like, yeah, yeah, there we go, Ezekiel. I said that way wrong. Um, it's not actually a scripture from the Bible, as I researched. But I liked how he used that just to like make a point right before he like did the deed, and like the movie just, it was, you didn't see it coming the first time, but really made a meaning in that Bible verse.
Well, it would have been nice if he used the verse as, a show of mercy. That would have been nice, because that would have been the proper use of the term. Whatever, that verse was completely pulled out of context in this situation. Of course, God doesn't want anybody to do what he did, Samuel Jackson's character. But it was definitely, you know what? It was a defining verse. You know what I mean? It's something he brought up time and time again. And yeah, by the end of the movie, it meant something totally different. So I don't know. It's cool seeing that progress. It's cool seeing uh it's interesting seeing people change, right? It's just interesting. And I
To a
think,
good guy.
yeah, I guess he does sort of become a good guy. By the end of the movie, when you
The
called
good
him
Christian.
who did you call him? You called him Norman Polanski.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is
From
that
the
is that the Marvel name for him?
yeah, Blonsky.
I
He
can't
played.
remember the actor's name. The ratty looking guy and his girl Honey Bunny. That's what he kept calling
Pumpkin
her.
Pie.
Yeah. Well, as they were robbing the restaurant, yeah, he gave him, for some reason, Samuel Jackson felt particularly merciful for these guys. I guess he's been in a similar place, but I don't know. I don't think it was. I didn't see that coming. I guess maybe he was sort of becoming the good guy.
Hey, he gave him mercy at the end, so that was definitely something he wasn't doing throughout the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
earlier scenes in the movie.
No, yeah, he didn't have much mercy before. But Luke, I was wondering what your thoughts are, because I don't know. I'm curious to know what your rap sheet is with Tarantino films. Like what other films you've seen, or if you've had any experience, if this is like the first one. Because I want to know, and I want to talk about what makes Tarantino films so popular. Because everybody loves them, and everyone's begging for a new one too. I know there's been rumors. There's been rumors about a new film he was going to make about a filmmaker. I believe it was a filmmaker starring Adam Sandler. I remember hearing that a while ago, and then I guess that's a complete hoax, and he debunked that. That was over a year ago. I was excited by the premise, but I don't know if he's actually going to make another movie. Everyone's desperate for him to come back, honestly, including me, because
It'll be interesting to see what he's got in store for future
yeah,
films.
yeah. I mean, he says he's just gonna do one more. But yeah, please, tell us about your experience with Tarantino, if this was
He's
like your first entry or not.
no, I've seen a number of Tarantino movies. He's a very expressive and he doesn't really have much of a filter. He likes to throw everything in at once, which I enjoy personally, because I don't know if you've seen Django Unchained, where he just uses so much gore and just violence for no reason at all. Like, I mean, it's so unrealistic in so many different ways, but it just gives it a form of comedy, but at the same time it's all serious and you get really into it. Like, you shoot somebody in the chest and they explode, and
Uh-huh.
that's something I grew up really enjoying about Quentin Tarantino movies. Another one is Kill Bill. I really do like how he can, like, what Kill Bill relates to Pulp Fiction. It's different, like, events. It's like a plot, different orders, not chronological order. I kind of like that because it keeps it interesting, and you're like, how does
Mm.
this tie into this? And then you figure out in the end. Um, and I just like him in general. He's just a very strange guy in a good way. He's a very very interesting man, and that just makes you laugh.
Well,
That's just
I
me.
like that. I like that you mentioned that because I think, yeah, he's bold, right? And he knows how to have fun. Like, not everything has to be so serious. As much as I love serious, I don't like the jokey crap. We get jokey crap and so much. Obviously, Marvel has become a complete joke itself. Jokey crap, joke, 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 nonstop. They can't take a moment to be serious. Not really. But he knows how to make it, I don't know, what is it? Like ridiculous, right? Ridiculous is fun.
Yeah,
And it's fantastical, but it's more fun that way, right?
yeah. I mean, he's definitely not anticlimactic, and I give him that. You
Yeah.
you expect everything from him, and he pulls through.
I like that you mentioned too, like the non chronological order, how that's sort of like something that's like entertaining about it is you don't really know what's happening because it's not all in chronological order. And I think that's true. I think there's something about that that's mysterious, and you you wonder, right? And you get confused and your mind tries to piece everything together. Everything is so linear. I mean, most films are just linear, right? He's really the only one that really comes to mind that presents just so many interesting, captivating concepts and jumbles them onto the screen. And it's sort of up to you to pick up the pieces and identify what's what and when it comes up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like when we first started watching the beginning of the movie, when it showed Tim Roth is his name.
Tim
Tim
Roth,
Roth.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Tim Roth
Thank you.
talking to. I automatically enjoyed that scene because I haven't seen him in any other movie really, except for the Incredible Hulk, the Marvel MCU, and he was great. I thought he was funny and he was outrageous and very trying to think of the word. He was just he wasn't sugarcoating anything. He was very violent and 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 just talking about killing, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just it was great. It was really intriguing, and I really enjoyed that. And I was just really waiting for John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson because that's all I knew from Pulp Fiction in my head. And there I go
Uh-huh.
seeing Tim Roth on the screen. That gave me an extra thing to look forward to in the movie.
I love how like Tarantino, like Tim Roth, it's sort of like one of his guys. There's another actor that he employs who shows up in he's in Hateful Eight, he's in Kill Bill, and actually I don't know if he's not in this. Or maybe he is in this. It's this one dude. He has this distinct look. He's so disturbing. This like larger dude. Let me see if I could find his name. He's very interesting. I love this actor. He's super eerie. He plays one of the villains in Kill Bill and also in Hateful Eight. Gosh, can't remember his name. I'm gonna have to find it. I'll find it later. But I love how like these directors they sort of have like an iconic actor that they sort of rise up. And Steve Buscemi too, right? I mean, he put a little cameo in this as well. I love Steve
I was
Buscemi, but Tim Roth is awesome. And have you seen Reservoir Dogs yet?
I've not.
Oh man, we gotta watch that sometime. Reservoir Dogs. I think that might be my actual favorite of Tarantino's, and that's his first movie too, his first big one.
Okay.
Tim Roth is pretty much the main character there, and I was wow, he's incredible in there. Jeez, they take things really far in that one. Definitely more graphic, I think. I feel like it's a little more graphic, like gore wise than I'd say Pulp Fiction. I always thought Pulp Fiction would be way more graphic gore wise. Obviously, not in other fashions, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, granted they cut some scenes out. You know, not saying it was gore, but they cut some things out because it was a little too much
Uh huh.
for some audiences, and I understand that. But yeah, Quentin Tarantino, I don't think he can ruin his own reputation because everyone expects him to. Everyone,
Literally.
I mean, that's all power to him. I mean, he doesn't have really much to lose in that sense.
No, he doesn't. And that's what people want, right? They want over the top. They want
Oh yeah,
crazy. Um, you just reminded me, like, we were talking about when we were watching the movie. We were surprised, like, imagine seeing this in theaters. Like, I bet viewers, you probably, if you're old enough, you probably saw this in theaters. And you know, the scene. Do you remember seeing that in theaters? Oh my
Elephant in the
gosh.
room.
So thankfully, this is how it works in my house. When there's stuff like that pops up, I don't want to see it. I don't need those images stained in my head. I know I might not understand the entire story, but what I'm comfortable with is not seeing some things. So I'm the guy that fast forwards. I'm the guy that skips some things. Okay. So maybe I don't completely understand the entire picture, but there's certain things in life I don't think you need to see. So I've never seen the actual scene, but I don't plan on seeing it either. Have you seen it?
Shall you explain?
Oh, no way. Hopefully everybody knows, it's the good old basement scene. Good old
Yeah,
basement scene with Bruce Willis and his dear friend. Doesn't go so well for those guys.
yeah.
But
I'm not allowed to say the word Jackson
no,
Pollock.
we can't use the word. We
I know.
can't use the word. I know that much. We cannot use the word.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to use
But
that word.
let me see. Let's start talking. Let's start opening some of these chats. Thanks for talking, everybody. This is exciting.
Well
I've
seen.
never. Let's see. We'll start with Let's Tune In. Hey, you look familiar. So excited for this chat. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Cammy. Cass Styles, Pulp Fiction is a cinematic masterpiece. It is, it is. It was such a pleasure to
I
rewatch
agree.
it again today. It was so much fun. I just love watching these older films. It's a pleasure, really. It's a pleasure to be able to witness history. Because that's how it is to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the verse. Yep, the verse changes. And Steve Donahue. That's a key point, I think. Tarantino knows how to have fun. Even his over-the-top serious stuff still has an element of fun. Exactly. And when you brought up Django, I just remembered everybody was trying to figure out what we watched last week. I couldn't think of it either. And I hate to say it was Django.
Seriously?
Yeah, I know.
Oh man,
I
missed that
guess it
one.
was forgettable, man. I guess it was forgettable for me. I know it's not very nice,
It's a
but
longer movie.
is that your favorite? Is that your favorite Tarantino film?
Well, I think that's the first one I was introduced to.
Okay.
Um, when I was growing up, my parents showed me that movie, and we kind of made it a two-parter. We watched the first, and I'm a kind of a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan, so
Okay.
I really enjoyed that movie, and because of all the scenes with Jonah Hill, and they had a good cast.
I don't remember Jonah Hill in
He
there.
was one
Oh,
of the
he
main
plays
characters.
really small, doesn't he? Really
He's
small role.
just a KKK member.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, crap. That
Yeah.
might have been one of those words. I don't know. We'll see.
Or
But you're cool. You're cool.
I'm just speaking
Uh,
letters.
yeah, just letters, guys. Just letters. Then we got, let's see, the Proctophile. Just wait till you see Reservoir Dogs. Exactly. He's talking about
Yeah, I got it.
Tim Roth in that. You got to see that, man. If you like Tim Roth, oh my gosh, he steals the show. And also the guy, is it Mr. Wolf or is it Wolf in
It's
Pulp
Wolf.
Fiction? It's Wolf, yeah. He plays a significant role in Reservoir Dogs. He's maybe the main character. I'd say it's either him or Tim Roth. It's either him, Tim Roth, or Steve Buscemi. And they have, oh my gosh, it's insane. It's awesome. Okay, Proctophile is back with Send Me Up. Michael Madsen. Yep, that's right. Michael Madsen. He is eerie. Wow, he's incredible. That guy does not get enough credit. He is incredible. I love him. He kind of looks like Tarantino as well. I'm wondering if they're like kind of related. Then we got Steve Donaghu. Oh, come on. There's no way Reservoir Dogs is better than Kill Bill.
I can't say anything. I've not seen Reservoir Dogs. So
Is Reservoir Dogs better than Kill Bill? I do love Kill Bill. We were just watching, my pops and me were just watching have you seen the second Kill Bill?
I've only seen the first.
Oh, wow. You need to see the second one. We're going to have to rewatch those again. The second Kill Bill, I think my favorite scenes in the Kill Bill series, I guess just the two movies, is I love seeing her past and I love seeing her experience with her teacher because her master, oh my gosh, this guy is such a dick. He's bad news. You'll definitely you'll be pretty interested in that story. It's crazy. It's crazy
Kill
time.
Bill
And this
2?
girl, yeah, Kill Bill 2. They go back in the past. And wow, she goes through a lot. And you can't help but to respect these girls that go through this. It's no, I don't consider a girl boss if it's, it's a level playing field. Proctophile, agree. Good man, good man. Tim Roth is a fantastic actor. Yes, he is good.
I agree.
Have you? Okay, so you've only seen him in Incredible Hulk
as the Abomination. Yes.
Okay, as Abomination and in
Neil
this.
Blonsky.
I don't think I've seen him in anything else other than Tarantino stuff and
She-Hulk.
Oh gosh, no! Did you watch all of She-Hulk?
Yes.
Oh, bro. I bet your girl made you watch that, didn't she?
No, we watched. I watched it with Cameron actually.
Oh wow! Did he like it?
Well, I mean, it was a fourth wall show.
Okay.
So.
All right, man.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
Well, you know what? Let's just keep moving on. Gorlami, Margaretti, De Coco, yes. Oh yeah, Inglorious Bastards. Have you seen Inglorious Bastards?
No, I'm very uncultured apparently to Quentin.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't think Tim Roth is in that. Yeah, that one's freaky. That one's freaky. You'd like that one. All right, then we got Winky Face. Thanks. Then we got back to Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Uma Thurman is an underrated actress. She's amazing in Gattaca. You know what that is?
Gattaca. Nope.
Oh,
Gattaca.
Man. Yeah, I don't think I've seen her in anything else. Something odd is she's going to be voicing some character in the new I think it's called King of Kings, the new animated film about Jesus. Pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Isn't that the guy who created that app originally?
I don't know. I know it's Angel Studios. I don't know if it's related to the Hallow app, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
maybe it is.
I think.
I think there's probably some sort of correlation there. I know I think it's the guy that sort of like jump started Angel Studios. Can't remember his name. It might be Jesse, but he's incredible. I'm really excited about that. Oddly enough, Mark Hamill is going to be voicing he's going to be voicing a character. I'm not sure which one he's voicing either. And then you have Jason Isaacs. He's going to be voicing Jesus. So I think, and let's see who else is in there. Gosh, what's his name? The guy who played
Mark Hamill, seriously.
Yeah, I know. That's odd. I'm surprised he wants to do it, but hey, good for you, man. Good for you. Maybe he's turning. Maybe he's heading in a better direction than where he's been lately.
Chucky.
I don't know. Yeah, Chucky. Yeah, literally Chucky from wow. That's a big difference. Let's go next to the Gourd King. Good to see you, Gourd King. Hot take. Jackie Brown's my favorite Tarantino movie. Jackie Brown. Oh, no, I haven't seen that one yet. Jackie Brown. I think I'm going to look that up real quick. Jackie Brown. Wow, really? This is your favorite? Okay. I don't know. I wonder if I can cast this.
It's an 88% Rotten Tomatoes.
Jackie Brown. Huh. No, I haven't seen this one. Maybe we'll check it out. I think we're just going to go through all the Tarantino movies.
Just Watch is 93%.
Dang. Okay. Solid choice. All right, man. All right, Proctophile, he agrees. All right, we're back to the Brown Eyes of Mandalore. First time I actually ever saw Tarantino was as a kid in one of the Muppet movies. Then when I got into his movies, I could never remember how I knew his face until I saw that scene from the Muppets. That's an interesting correlation. I don't know what he's doing on the Muppets. I hope he didn't steer children towards his films. Good catch, Brown Eyes. Good catch. Cast Styles, what do you guys think about the Kill Bill series? I personally love the series. Kill Bill. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked about that just a little bit. I think they're fun. They're fun. She's great. I like her as her character in Kill Bill so much more than her character in Pulp Fiction. There's something about her. I don't know. She just rubs me the wrong way in Pulp Fiction. A lot of people don't seem to feel that way. But she, what a journey. And she's just a fun character. Gosh, and driven by pure vengeance. Tarantino, he knows his story of vengeance. I don't know what he's got vengeance against the world because it seems like all his main characters are seeking vengeance one way or another.
Oh, big
So
time.
I don't know. What about you? What about you, Luke? What's your opinion?
I like to point out that I like to watch Kill Bill again because I had a bad impression on it while watching it. I thought it was too. I was had too much like comedical. It was too funny. I thought it
It's
was
too
fun.
ridiculous, right?
Yes, like I was laughing throughout most of it because like the special effects when like the two women saw each other in the beginning when they did like the red like
Oh yeah,
I thought that was so ridiculous and silly, and I was like, this cannot be serious. And me and Cassie were watching. That's actually who pointed it out just now, Cass Styles. We were watching, and I just could not take it seriously. So I'd like to watch it again with a more serious approach to it to kind of get more of the point and
that's
whatnot.
fair. Yeah, I mean it's pretty freaking ridiculous. It's probably the out of the movies I've seen him do, I don't think it's been more ridiculous than that. He goes above and beyond, but it's
He
fun.
does.
I don't know. I guess you can't take it too seriously. Then we go back to the Gourd King. The weakest Tarantino movies are Death Proof and Hateful Eight. Both are fine, but far from QT's best.
Mm.
Wow, Hateful Eight, huh? Well, Hateful Eight, it's kind of a sleeper. It's kind of a sleeper. I feel like, I mean, most of the time people are just sitting and talking. I was kind of shocked. Like when I was watching it, I was expecting it to be some gangbuster, big show like what we're used to, right? Just ridiculous action and such. No, just barely conversational drama. I kind of like that though. I think there's definitely you gotta have patience for it, and you certainly do, Gord King, I imagine. But um, yeah, I remember when I watched it with my bros here, they all checked out pretty early, which was a little disappointing. But yeah, I haven't seen Death Proof though. You know what that one is? Have you heard of that? No.
Nope.
All right. All right, we're just gonna answer. We'll end here with Proctophile, then we'll get back to the conversation. I still need to watch Four Rooms and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but Jackie Brown is a great choice. Okay, we're thinking about watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood next week to talk about that. I haven't seen that one yet. Everybody's talking about it though. But Jackie Brown, okay, Jackie Brown's pretty popular, I guess. So cool. Maybe I'll add that to the list. It looks interesting. It looks interesting. I need to watch a trailer. I don't want to judge it. That wouldn't be very nice. All right, so there we go. We got an image here.
They're the boys.
So let's see here. So obviously, everybody here is mentioning their favorite Tarantino films, right? I feel like everybody's got a different one. It's hard to pick. Why one is better than the other almost. I think they're also intelligible in such different ways. I'm definitely curious because I think everyone listening and you and me could probably all agree that Pulp Fiction is easily the biggest cult classic that he's made, right? I can't think of any of these other films being bigger than Pulp Fiction. And I'm kind of wondering because after watching it again, I kind of wonder why is that the case? Why is Pulp Fiction the cult classic of Quentin Tarantino? Why isn't it something else? Why isn't it Django? Why isn't it Kill Bill? So I don't know. What do you think?
It's iconic. I mean, you got a bunch of stars on it, and it's just one of those movies where everybody knows about it. I mean, I've known the name of Pulp Fiction for as long as I can remember. I'm not sure why, but it's just has to be one of his most popular movies out there. It was a big hit back then. What was it, 94?
Yeah, let's see. Wow, was it only the 90s? Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah. No,
Well,
it's
that's
the
not that
90s.
bad. Oh yeah, 94.
Oh,
That's not that bad.
yeah, but it's just iconic. It's funny. It's
It's funny. I
you
guess
got
it's kind of funny.
well,
It has its moments, I guess.
you got the hitman, you got the boxer who it's a murderer. You have
Mm.
the vengeful protagonist. What's her name? She's in Kill Bill.
Oh, the Uma Thurman.
Uma. You
Yeah,
have
what's her? I only know actors' names. I don't know these characters' names. They don't really say the names very much in the movies.
not too much.
No. Vincent's John Travolta, Jules, Mia Wallace. Mia Wallace. Yeah, I think maybe like for me, what makes it a cult classic? I think Samuel Jackson. I think it must be him, right? He really, I mean, he steals the show in this. I think, seeing him through quite a few different phases from start to finish, and then seeing how he's sort of become his ultimate version of himself by the very end.
That was good.
Uh, I think it's sort of one of those stories that everybody likes to see, the one guy power up and change and hopefully become a better version of himself. I don't know. I don't think he's really a better version of himself by the end of this, even though you sort of think so. I think maybe he has a more mature mindset. Maybe he's refined his motives, which I guess are a little bit better than it started. I don't know.
Well, he was in the public and with all these customers surrounding him, so I think that's mainly why he didn't pull the trigger.
Mm,
And he would have had some problems with Pumpkin Pie because she had her gun pointed right to him, all
uh-huh.
ruthless and everything. But I like. Are you saying that you think this movie's all big and everything because Samuel L. Jackson?
Well, I think he's probably the main reason, but I think they also I think the shock factor in Pulp Fiction is probably greater than any of the others, right?
Right,
I
right.
can't imagine what it was like for all those poor people out there that watched this live not knowing what was coming.
I don't
Because
envy them.
thankfully, the farthest I got with that scene was the GIMP scene, getting out of the box. And when I saw that, I'm done. Sorry, right over.
It's crazy that they were allowed to do that on
Yeah,
screen.
I mean, yeah, showing this in theaters. I was telling the guys today that locally in this little artsy town by my place, they had a Pulp Fiction festival. And it sounded like a lot of fun, like a lot of people coming together to celebrate Pulp Fiction in this little like artsy indie theater. I think that would be a really good time to go. I didn't go, but I'm wondering, like, is everybody just going to use the restroom when that scene pops up? So I don't know. I didn't end up going, but
They didn't show that
there's.
scene.
I think
Definitely not.
I feel like that itself would scare enough people off from doing that. But I think when it comes to like this just being like a cult classic, I think it's also that we were introduced to a lot of exciting stories that
Oh
really
yeah.
do come together pretty well, and they end up creating a real story. Uma Thurman's story, hers is important, and it builds John Travolta, and it sets him on a different path, and inevitably ends to his death. Samuel Jackson, somehow making it by the end of the film, pretty much, harmless. And then you have Bruce Willis. I mean, Bruce Willis's story was so exciting. And then somehow, this man that was caught, caught between him and death itself. I mean, he was so close to getting it from Big Julius. Well, is it Julius? Is that his name? What was his name?
It's Jules.
No, not Jules. The boss man. Marcellus? Was it Marcellus?
Marcellus. Yeah,
Marcel, yeah,
the
Marcellus.
guy who had
Yeah.
to undergo the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yep.
he was so close to getting him, and by making the choice in the last minute to save him from getting whatted by those evil dudes, that cleaned the air for him. So I think I think there was just a lot of exciting, interesting developments that concluded pretty well, and they all sort of came together fluidly. It didn't feel too cumbersome, although it seemed disjointed at first. By the end of the movie, it all makes sense. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that it was just a well formed film, right?
I was gonna bring that up. That's one of the biggest things I loved about the movie was all of the different plots and all the different scenes, like storylines. The Bruce Willis, I did not expect to see him in the movie, and I really enjoyed uh, his uh, his moment in the film where he led up with John Travolta, Vincent, and
Hmm.
then he met up with Mia or Uma, and how he went on the little date with her, and then she took his his substance. But I
Oh,
really liked how it all connected, and it made it really interesting, and it made a lot more sense towards the end, which it's supposed to. Um, but I do have one question. I'm kind of lost on what happened to Jules before the ending. Like, did it show him get away from?
oh yeah. Well, I guess that's sort of up to the viewer's interpretation, right? I mean, we know that that's the last bit we saw with Jules, Samuel Jackson's character,
After he ate the
because
kahuna
because
puppy?
the guy because their friend who John Travolta shot,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
blew up the guy's head. That was I think that was the last scene. Um,
Oh, after
you
Quentin
know,
Tarantino scene.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
that's
That's
right.
good.
And Samuel, yeah, Samuel Jackson, they just got out of they were in the new clothes. They finished up that, and we don't see him pop up in like the future scenes earlier because it's not in chronological order. So I think that's it. And I think it's sort of up to us to figure that out. Does he escape? Do the cops get him? I don't imagine the cops get him. That's not very exciting. But yeah, that's a good question, though. Yeah, he kind of leaves it up to the viewer to make these decisions themselves, right?
Yeah, it really let me down, disappointed me at when Bruce Willis, shot dead Vincent or John Travolta, because
Oh yeah.
it kind of reminded me of not to change like the movie, but Star Wars 3, right? Like the first movie, essentially when Darth Vader just kills Obi-Wan, but the whole backstory of them together, and it's just so disappointing to see that guy just die like that when he just had so much meaning.
Oh, that's
Like,
interesting.
I'm like,
That's a
oh
funny
no,
correlation.
I thought he was gonna come back. Like, I didn't expect him just to die on the spot.
Yeah, die on the John. That's a sad ending.
Yeah, he got shot right back to the John.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's sort of the act of surprise, right?
There
Didn't
was
see
no
that
fight.
coming.
There was no fight back. I mean, it was just gone.
That shows you that what
Yeah,
life
ruthless.
life catches you with your pants down sometimes, and
Yep.
yeah, there's variables we can't control. Um,
I won't mess with Bruce Willis.
No,
Mm.
no, no way. That was the best time to get John Travolta. I mean, he was really pretty
Yeah, he was.
unbreakable the whole time. That
Yeah,
was so like I want to
vulnerable.
get to this soon. So you keep mentioning Bruce Willis, and as I've thought about it, I think Bruce Willis is probably my favorite character in the movie. I didn't think I'd like him. He really, at first, he kind of felt out of place to me. Like he didn't really blend in with any of these guys. He didn't strike me as one of these stone cold hitmen like these guys, like John Travolta and Samuel Jackson. But as you get to learn who this guy is, you start to figure out that, geez, this guy's pretty cold. He accidentally, he's a boxer. He's a talented boxer. He gets involved with Marcellus, who told him that I guess he had a lot of money on the table, so he wanted,
$5.
yeah, Bruce Willis to drop in the fifth round or the fourth round. I believe it's the fifth round.
Fifth round, yeah.
And he didn't. He accidentally murdered.
Dragoed him.
Dragoed him. He dragoed his appointment, his opponent, and he fled. And he was perfectly fine with it. The taxi girl, he escapes in this taxi, and the girl wants to know what that experience was like, how he felt. Everything was perfectly fine. Why was that the case? Why did he not have any sort of mercy or sentiment here? And he didn't later on either. When he encountered the really bad guys, and he he just doesn't seem to mind. He didn't seem to mind, and I was wondering if maybe he had some sort of crooked background before, because boxers obviously don't have the intention of ending somebody in the ring.
Did
I don't
Drago
think any
mind?
boxer wants to do that. What'd you say?
Did Drago mind?
He did. No, he didn't mind. You're
See,
right.
it's
Yeah,
all about the name of the game,
he is you know what? He is a fantasy character. He is fictional, but so is this guy, I guess.
Yeah, Bruce
So
Willis. Yeah, they're so serious about the sport that they take pride in what they did. And he did. And to be fair, he did not know he killed him. Remember when he said on the radio, he's like, "Did he die?" And she said on the radio, she heard like he just thought he like knocked him out.
well, yeah, he
Yeah.
said he didn't care at all, though. He didn't care
No,
at all.
no. I mean,
No.
I don't agree
Here.
with that, but
But you said, okay, so who was your favorite character? You say Vincent was your favorite?
okay, I'm not gonna say Tim Roth. I'm not.
Okay.
I do enjoy Tim Roth, you know, but my favorite character is definitely Vincent because those are the scenes that I grew up watching on YouTube and where the the Vincent scenes with Samuel L. Jackson. That's what I was expecting to see the whole movie before coming to your place and watching Pulp Fiction. So that's what I was kind of gearing up for.
Mm.
But as I was watching it, you know, I still love Vincent and Samuel L. Jackson's characters, but I do agree with you. Bruce Willis, he's always a badass character. Die Hard and everything. He's always getting into something, and just you know,
Oh yeah, yeah. He's dramatic. He's
John
awesome.
Wick
It's.
and everyone.
Do you know what happened to Bruce Willis recent?
Yeah,
Like not
isn't
kind of recently. Like
yeah
it's been
something.
like a year.
Wait, like it wasn't like some kind of disease or something.
I think it might be Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
something. It's
Alzheimer's. Yeah,
so bad that he is no longer verbal now.
yeah, yeah. He
Isn't
doesn't.
that terrible?
Yeah, like the Superman actor.
Superman.
Yeah, like
Oh, like Christopher Reeve.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. But no,
What did he become nonverbal?
Yeah, he was like in a
I know
wheelchair.
he was paralyzed. I think he was verbal though.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's just a shame, you know. I mean, he's still young.
Yeah, he wasn't that old and really just kind of came out of nowhere. It's sad. Real shame. Well, here, let's talk. Let's get back on the chat here. Let's see. Where did we leave off? We left on, I think. What do you?
The file, not the
Proctofile.
Yeah, I was okay.
Oh, yeah, here we
I
go.
don't want to mess it up.
Proctofile. Let's go. I'd put Death Proof and Planet Terror at the bottom. Planet Terror. I haven't heard of that one either. Huh. I guess he's made a couple. He hasn't made like that many films like that are like logged here when you type in Tarantino. There's not too many. So I think it'd be interesting to like just see all of them. I'd love to do that and maybe make a video. Let's see. Gord King. Jackie Brown has such good dialogue and character work. It's basically a hangout movie crossed with a crime caper. Okay. It's basically a hangout movie crossed with. Okay. That sounds interesting. Crime caper. Not exactly sure what that means. Like a superhero, sort of? All right. Then we got the Proctofile. Kill Bill is great. If you combine the two, I'd put them about on par with Pulp Fiction. Yeah, like as a collection, they are wow. It's a powerful story when you put those two together. I'd love to see those in theaters again. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh my gosh. Seeing Kill Bill in IMAX. Oh my gosh. That would be so cool. I'm glad they're bringing back old films to theaters. There's just so much more fun to watch.
Right.
Something that's annoying about that too, just to get off on a little bit of a tangent. They're playing all these old films again in theaters. They're playing the old Star Wars movies again. That's great. We're getting Star Wars Episode 3 in when are we getting that? Is that May? I don't think it's May 4th.
I was just told today actually. Yeah, it's
or is it April? I think it's April.
That sounds about right.
Well,
I know that's soon.
Yeah, well, it's back in theaters, great. It's on, at least here where I'm from, it's on the standard screen. Okay, I hate to say it, the standard screen isn't really much different than you just sitting on your couch and looking at the screen in front of you. I mean, the screen isn't that massive when you're at a theater, unless you're sitting pretty close up. I still love it no matter what. I love the experience of going to the theater, being in the theater. I love being there. The feeling of cinema, pure cinema. But it's not the same. IMAX, oh my gosh. Imagine watching Episode 3 at IMAX. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I haven't seen it.
What? Star Wars Episode 3? You haven't seen it?
Is that technically the first one?
No. Episode 3, that's the one with when Anakin and Obi-Wan go at it and Mustafar.
Oh, no, I've not seen that one.
What? Whoa, crap.
But that is being released in theaters at April 25th. I looked it up.
Wow.
But
you haven't seen it?
I've seen the scene where he burns, you know.
Oh, man.
Spoil anything.
You are not a Star Wars guy.
No, not too much.
Oh, okay.
Star Trek.
Those are definitely worth watching. Don't watch the sequels, please. All right, let's go to Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Have you ever seen the Grindhouse horror movies by Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez? That's not a good sign. They're pretty good. Death Proof and Planet Terror. I do not. Gosh, after what Robert Rodriguez did with Book of Boba Fett, I can't talk to him. I can't visit his work. maybe these are great. I thought he did a great job when he directed like one of the episodes in Mandalorian season 2. I believe he directed the Boba Fett episode when he showed up in Mando season 2. I loved that one. Gosh, it was so much fun, so exciting. Wow, Book of Boba Fett. Hell no. But I haven't seen these. Have you seen them, Luke? Death Proof or Planet Terror?
No, like I said, I'm very uncultured with this.
I know. These
dive
guys know
into
what they're talking about, man. They know what
Yeah.
they're talking about.
I feel so out of the loop.
We got Proctophile back again. I loved Hateful Eight, but it definitely isn't for everyone. Okay, good. He's got some respect for Hateful Eight. And it's not for everyone. It's not. You'd probably, you might think it's a sleeper, Luke. I don't know.
Hateful Eight? Let me look.
That's the one. It's got Samuel Jackson, Kurt Russell.
Oh.
Walden Goggins is in it. The ghoul from Fallout. He's awesome. He really makes the movie. Let's go. All right, back to the Gourd King. Hateful Eight isn't bad or anything. It just meanders a bit much. Meanders a bit much, especially near the end. Yeah, it does meander. I kind of liked the meandering. I thought, especially towards the end, I kind of liked the meandering because they were, Samuel Jackson and Walden Goggins were in such a vulnerable position, but it lasted forever. So I understand that. And then we got Brown Eyes of Mandalore back again. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my all-time favorite movies. I grew up with old classic Hollywood films, and the vibe of the movie really feels personal. Wow, okay. And it didn't come out that long ago. I wish I would have been more familiar with Tarantino when it released in theaters, because that must be such a privilege to see that in theaters. See a Tarantino movie for the first time, and it's like popular. I mean, I feel like just simple stories that aren't like big box office films, nobody talks about them anymore, unless you're on YouTube and you watch streamers who talk about them. I mean, casual conversation you have with people, nobody sees a lot of these films if they're not the big names, if they're not the big box office flicks. So I think Tarantino's always done a good job sort of bringing the personality from like indie film to the big screen and to the mass appeal of the mass audience, the big box office. All right, Gourd King back again. Pulp Fiction was especially influential because of how it changed many filmmakers' approach to writing dialogue, particularly in crime movies. Okay, I could see that. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. A big thing Tarantino does is the movie chapters, but I've heard a lot of people dislike that. What are your thoughts?
I liked that.
Yeah. What do I think about that?
Didn't make it dull. I mean,
yeah, I think the chapters are confusing. They are confusing, and they require you to think. It's not linear.
There were only like 4 of them, right?
Yeah, there wasn't very many chapters in this in Pulp Fiction. I think some have more than others. It's kind of hard you sort of forget the titles of the chapters, and it's hard to maybe to decide what that chapter was necessarily trying to convey. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. What was that?
Like watching 4 different movies for me. I mean, it was you're watching something, then it rose up to the climax, and then it ended, and then you started something new, rose to the climax, and then at the end, it all connected together, which
yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah, it's like a collection of short films almost.
Yeah, I like that style personally.
Gourd King is back again. Butch was approachable because he was near the end of his career and never had made it. This was the first time he had the opportunity to make real money. Butch. I think that that was Bruce Willis's character. Butch was approachable because he was near the end of his career. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. That's sad. Gourd King. Planet Terror is a Robert Rodriguez movie. It was the first movie in the Grindhouse feature. Death Proof was the second. Okay, cool. Christopher Reeves was paralyzed during a horseback riding accident. He and Robin Williams were best friends, and Williams was never the same after his death. That's such a sad story. I watched that Super Slash Man. Have you seen that?
Is
It was the documentary
Oh no,
about
I've not.
Christopher Reeves and sort of his journey through paralysis?
No, I've,
Wow, what a touching story. So sad. And
it's a
yeah, his
shame.
connection with Robin Williams, they became like really close friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess sort of the it seemed like one of the main takeaways from the movie, like the documentary, was that Robin Williams, he might, who knows, but it seemed like after Christopher Reeves passed away, that might have been a huge blow to his spirit, and that could have
Depression.
at least been a factor that affected his mindset when he did what he did, unfortunately. Which we have not found another Robin Williams, have we?
No, he's like the OG comedian out there. He's definitely engraved the comedic role.
Yeah.
You got Miss Doubtfire. You got the original Mick and Mort. What was it?
Oh
The
yeah, yeah. What is it?
Not
Is
Rick
it
and Morty.
Mick and Mort? Oh no, no. What is it?
The
Gosh,
1970s
what is
sitcom.
it? Yeah,
It's
it kind
hilarious.
of sounds like that. What is it? Robin Williams, Mick, Mork and Mindy. That's
Mork
so
and Mindy.
funny. Rick and Morty, Mork and Mindy.
I
No
know
wonder
it's
we're screwing that up. Mork and Mindy. Oh yeah, he was great. I love Mrs. Doubtfire. That's like
classic.
that's the thing. Like watching these older films too, you start to realize that, gosh, the talent has not been replaced. The talent has not been replaced.
No, he has
Is
such an
there?
amazing style.
There's no new Travolta, John Travolta's. There's not a new Bruce Willis. There is not a new Robin Williams. There's no new Jim Carrey. There's no new Adam Sandler. Especially a lot of male characters. We are not, or male actors. We are not getting competent, interesting, creative new stars. Certainly not anyone I'm particularly interested in. Could you think of any that like actually literally excite you? New young talent. Can you think of any other than Timothy Chalamet? There you go. He's the one. He's the trophy boy.
He is rose up. Chalamet is definitely is. He's could I mean he's still very young in his early in his career. He's done Wonka. You know,
I
no
loved
one's done Wonka
Wonka.
since what 1971. He did Bob Dylan.
That was great. Yeah, he was
Bob,
good. He earned my respect in that, in A Complete Unknown. He earned my respect. I'll
that
give him
was
that.
very good. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Chalamet is he might be a wonderkin.
Yeah, but there's no others. I think there's one young man actor I like a lot. I saw him in, gosh, The Shameful, It Ends With Us. He's also in 1923. He plays Spencer. He's this younger actor. He's incredible. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. I love him. He's like one of the very few new rising actors that I respect. Let's see. He is Brandon Sklenar. I've talked about him recently. Wow, he is a gem. But other than that, it's sad. All right, let's look here. Thanks, Brown Eyes. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, Anton Lowe. I think that's Lowe. Actually just watched it last week for the first time in years. Showed my wife, who had never seen it. Aside from the grape scene, she loved it. I like that. Well, actually, I might not even be able to say that. Probably grapes scene. She loved it. I realized Vincent is a turd, but JT does an underrated job. Wow. Does an underrated. Yeah, it is underrated. It is underrated. Yeah, everybody thinks of Samuel Jackson, but he doesn't get much credit there. Cass Styles, so excited for Thunderbolts thanks to Galley. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Do you know who this is? Oh, duh. Okay.
Cassie,
nice.
Yes, that's gonna be a really good one. Very, very good.
Fun. Well, At least she's excited.
Come on.
At least she's excited. You know what? I guess they said with the Thunderbolts, they said that it's the highest like scored test screening results of all of Phase 5.
Yeah,
that's good. You know,
they're all good characters, almost.
We'll see. All right, Brown Eyes. I got to go see The Phantom Menace in theaters last year. The experience is drastically different. The pod racing alone is a whole new feel. Oh my gosh, I love seeing it in theaters again. I love that. Have you seen episode 1? No. Wow.
No,
So have you only seen the
I've seen
originals?
so in modern history, and
Oh my gosh.
with our remember yeah in high
Long
school
time ago.
why we watched the original episode 4.
It's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, episode 4 with old man Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the one I've seen. I'd
Okay.
like to see 3 through what is it? It's the sequel or the prequels or whatever, but they're
Yeah.
new. I like
Yeah.
to see
1, 2, and
those.
3.
I do like the guy who plays Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Hayden
like him.
Christensen.
Yeah, I do like Hayden Christensen.
Okay.
Good character.
I think you'd like them. They're fun. All right. Let's new friend here. Bucket Boy 2005. Oh, what the heck? Didn't realize you got PewDiePie here tonight. I know, right? I'm a lucky guy.
I got
Nice.
real pissed.
Oh, that's good. All
No,
right,
I'm not PewDiePie.
Proctophile.
If PewDiePie from 2015.
There you go. You're old school.
Or like
All right, Proctophile. Most people are so brain rotted by the internet that they have the attention span of goldfish with ADD. Damn shame. That is facts, man. That's so facts.
That's me.
That's you? Nah, you know what? I respect Luke. Luke and me, we have our differences. We have a lot of differences. He likes a lot of things I don't like. I like some things he doesn't like, and that's perfectly fine. And
Marvel, for example.
he's willing, you know what? He's perfectly willing to explore some good old films, though, and that is worth some respect because gosh, just the best stories are back in the day, right? Back in the day here. And even the 90s is back in the day. We're all the way out in 2025.
Hey,
Him and me, we weren't even alive when this came out. We weren't even in the picture. So
I like to point out I went to see Lawrence of Arabia with him in theaters.
that's right. That's right. Yes, that's a good source right there. We went and saw Lawrence of Arabia, my second favorite film of all time, in theaters. It was like 4 hours long with a 15-minute intermission. It was very nice. It was very nice. I enjoyed that. Yeah, the 1800s. It was old school. It still looks great. Oh my gosh, I would have loved to see that in IMAX. Let's see here. I think we'll take a little break with the chats for now. Let me put up a new picture here. Spruce things up a little bit. Nice. Okay. So here's a question. I'm definitely curious. Oh, here, let me take this off. So we have Samuel Jackson here, a picture of him. He was the man, right? He was the man back in the day. I mean, who doesn't want young Samuel Jackson in their film? I guess the big question we had to ask ourselves is why isn't he cool anymore? Because I think like I just watched what is the spy movie? The gosh, I'm totally blanking on what it's called right now. You know the spy movie with he's in it, he's the villain. It's got gosh, I gotta look it up real quick. I'm so mad I can't blame what the I'm blanking on it. Spy.
Fifth Element?
Gosh, what is it called? It's the one with
Bruce Willis?
No. It's they made a few of them.
Who's in it?
Samuel Jackson. Gosh, I can't remember the older guy's name. He was in that Otterby. Oh wait, here. Well, I can find it that way.
Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable on
whatever. Well, forget it. I saw him in something recent. He wasn't any good. He was in Secret Invasion. Wow, what an absolute joke. And I think he just lost his mojo. What do you think it is? Why isn't he? What happened?
He's gotten too consumed into Marvel. Not saying anything, not bashing Marvel at all, but he's dedicated his past 10 years basically to Marvel, I'd say. I know he's had movies in between there, but he's been Nick Fury for a long time now.
It seems like, I think these contracts like kind of consume these actors.
Like
there's really, I don't know how much creative liberties do they really have to like jump onto other projects when they're stuck playing these roles.
Right. And I think he's done for now, but I mean, he's got his connections. So, I mean, I'm sure he has bigger films in the future.
It looks like so. Yeah, obviously he was a leading role in Hateful Eight, and that came out in 2015. That wasn't that long ago, actually. I thought that was longer. That's not too bad. It's still 10 years. I mean, that's still 10 years. Kingsman. The Kingsman was what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, with
He appeared in the Kingsman. He was pretty bad in that.
Elton John guy.
Yes. Let's see what his name is. That's, I guess, a rising star.
Yeah.
Colin Firth is the one guy I was thinking of who was in Lockerbie, not Otterby. Lockerbie. Lockerbie was great. Great show. Taron Egerton. Taron Egerton, that's his name. And he played Eggsy, which is such a gross name. Eggsy.
Eggsy, that's...
Have you ever seen did you ever watch the Unbreakable, like the old Unbreakable movie with Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, or Split or Glass?
Yes, Split and Glass. Yes,
Okay, good.
I really enjoy that actor. Charles Xavier, as I know him best. Right?
Wait, in Split?
Yeah, the main.
He's not. Oh yeah, of course. James McAvoy.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the old version. I'm like, I don't remember him there.
Not Charles Stewart.
No, yeah. Or is it Patrick Stewart? Patrick Stewart.
I mixed up the names.
Yeah, no, you're cool, man.
Patrick
Stewart. He was good. Yeah, man, I loved. Okay, there's a name, James McAvoy. He's not really young though.
No, he's middle aged. I mean, I did enjoy Glass, the split personalities.
Glass was a little bit. It was kind of dog. It wasn't very good. I don't know. A little disappointing. You need to watch Unbreakable. If you've seen those two, you need to watch Unbreakable, man.
Same universe.
Yeah, it was the first one. I remember when I went in to see Split for the first time. I think I saw it with my parents, and I grew up watching Unbreakable. He's sort of Bruce Willis is this. He's like this vigilante, and it's like a very real, like kind of like a realistic superhero, where he's not flashy at all. He's pretty strong, and he's like ultra durable. Like you can't really off him. But one of his weaknesses is he can drown, which is really odd. I think that's like the only way he can actually die is if he drowns. So he gets himself into a few pickles with that issue, unfortunately. But he ends up making it out alive, obviously, because he shows up in Glass and Split. So that story was so good. M. Night Shyamalan, wow, great film. And M. Night did Split, of course. And at the very end of Split, when you're in the cafe or you're in the coffee shop and you see that James McAvoy's character has escaped, he's, offed a few people and he's on the loose. And you see Bruce Willis is there and he's like, I got to help out here. I got to suit up. It was one of those moments. It might have been the most shocking, happy, surprise I've ever seen in any movie. I loved seeing that because growing up, it's one of those things where it's like, it's like the nostalgia. This was like the very first bit of like nostalgia bait for me. And you wouldn't have seen that coming, right? Seeing that connection. I mean, the movie's pretty old, early 2000s. It wasn't really big, but Unbreakable. Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought it was a bit of a sleeper, but seeing that connection, that it lined up and we were going to see that story continued. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
wow.
Bruce Willis in that movie? That's where that old guy with the hood on, he like is fighting that animalistic version of what was he?
That's Bruce Willis, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he was called the Swarm? I think that was sort of like the name for like all of them together. Because you had the Beast and then you had but I think he called himself the Swarm because he was all of them at one point. His real name was Kevin Wendell Crumb. Yeah. Well, that's a good one. Sorry, we went on a little tangent there. That was pretty fun though. But yeah, Samuel Jackson, buddy, just doesn't seem to have it. Uma Thurman, I can't remember the last thing she's been in. She's been out of the picture for quite some time now. I'm excited for her in the King of Kings movie. Travolta, I think I made a note because I just think it's so sad. Ever since Travolta went bald, he's just not cool anymore. I don't know what it is. He lost his spunk a little bit when he got bald. Nothing against bald people. This is a Travolta problem, okay?
Well, he's to be fair, he's like in almost 80, right?
Oh, it's what? You think? No
Yeah,
way. Hell
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Let's
definitely.
look. John Travolta.
I might be wrong, but he might be in his early 70s. But
Travolta is 71. Okay.
oh yeah, never mind. Never
Well,
mind. He's a lot younger than I thought.
yeah. Well, I know he does look pretty old though. Yeah, Travolta, he's made some interesting choices. And then Bruce Willis, we won't be seeing him anymore, which is disappointing. The Horde. That's right, Proctophile. The Horde, not the Swarm. I don't know where I come up with these things sometimes. Gosh. Let's see. Okay. So I guess one of my last questions pertaining to, well, actually, here, I have two more questions. So my next question is, though, what do you think was, maybe try not to make it the one scene, but what do you think was most disturbing about Pulp Fiction for you watching it again?
I'm not saying, yeah. I'm not going to bring that up. The most, the most disturbing scene. I can't say that because they did not show it. I would say probably the overdose scene. I just
Oh, yeah.
so that was kind of hard to watch. That was kind of gross, honestly,
Yeah.
because like it was kind of painful to watch too, because she's obviously thinking it's something else, but it's the other thing, and then it's just and then she has to go through all of that, and she's laying down. You just see all that
Ugh.
oozing out. And it's just, and then he carries her and transports her for however long, and she's laying there. They're all yelling at each other. I thought
Oh,
that
gosh.
was
That was gross.
that was probably my most favorite scene when they were screaming at each other, like saying, "No, that's the black race marker," or whatever.
That was your
Uh,
favorite scene?
Not my favorite scene, but I thought that was a very funny scene because it was all hectic and everything was happening at once, and that was a good one.
That was crazy. That's a good choice.
No, it was
It's
not my favorite
it's
scene, but it was very disturbing and uh, very very good comedy, and there was the comedic was
Oh, sure, yeah,
very
yeah,
good comedic scene.
they were bouncing off each other pretty well. It was fun. It was fun. No, that's not the right word. I think for me,
It
most
was
disturbing scene is, not including the big bad one, because of course that's the everyone's worst case scenario. But I think for me, the seeing the poor Gimp get out of the box, and oh my gosh, what, why, how, where, when, why, wow,
that does relate to the the bad scene.
pure evil, pure evil. It
You
shows.
can't.
Wow, I remember the first time, the first time I watched this, and that's when I knew. Okay, definitely skipping the rest of this, but I just couldn't. It's one of those things that stains your mind. It stains. I remember going in to see Pulp Fiction
Oh, you saw
before.
it?
No, well, I didn't see the full thing. Once I
Oh,
saw the guy get out of the box and walk over and all that, the first time over, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, sorry. I don't need this in my life. But
it's not needed to be watched. I mean, it's just, I mean,
no,
who just sits down and watches him?
yeah,
Okay,
studying it, right?
okay,
Oh,
yeah, I
what's the
understand.
bigger picture here? No. But I remember, like, I think I want to hear your thoughts on this, because going in to see this, ever since when I was young growing up, I always thought Pulp Fiction, because of what I heard, what my parents said and other people, that this film was one of the most disgusting films ever. And I had a weird thought going into it. It's funny how we sort of come up with these random, these random, like, these random scenes in our head that aren't actually part of the film, but we sort of create it ourselves. I always thought that Pulp Fiction was going to be this ultra graphic, gory, like torture film where we'd be seeing really graphic, like evil torture or whatever else you want to call it, like gunfights and such, uh, verbal, just like pure evil stuff. And there really wasn't very much of that in here at all. And I was always afraid, like when the guns were in everyone's faces and they were holding it up, and you had it like right up. The characters were just like they shot it so well where they have the pistol like right in their face. I always thought any second now we were about to get a really gross image of that happening, of some guy's face getting blown up or something like that. So for me, I was horrified to go into this because I had the images of these potential horrors. I also had a really weird thought going in. I always thought that there was going to be a scene where Samuel Jackson was going to put someone's hand in a garbage disposal in a sink. I don't know why. That was a weird thought that I kept thinking was going to happen. I don't know. Maybe somebody told me at some point. Going in to see it like before you saw it for the first time. Did you have any like weird thoughts going in?
Um, yeah, I thought a lot more was going to happen to the guy sitting in the chair. It was the whose business partner was being interrogated by Jewel, and when they were looking for the
Oh
key,
yeah, yeah.
I thought he was
I think
going
his
to
name
do
was Brent.
yeah, Brent, yeah, something like that. But I thought he was going to do a lot more gruesome activities to him, other than just relentlessly shooting him.
Yeah.
Did he shoot the guy on the couch, or did he like just shoot
Oh
the
yeah.
kid?
It didn't really look like much happened there, but he got him. Yeah.
He okay. But yeah, I can see why you thought something was gonna happen like with his hand with the garbage disposal, because there was a kitchen right there. He
Uh
could have
huh.
easily just picked him up. I mean, he did disrespect the guy. He chugged his Sprite, and he ate his burger, and then he shot his friend, and then he shot the dude's arm. He he could have been a lot darker in that scene, which
Oh
I was
yeah.
I was I was preparing for. I was like kind of on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh, let's see what happens. And then I didn't expect the scene. I take that back. I did not expect the scene when they just pop 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 pop
Yeah.
doing that scene. I was like, wow, that's they really cut to the gist.
It's kind of sad how, like, I mean, these things we see, like in
So
Tarantino
realistic.
films, they are, I mean, we see some terrible things, but, once you watch enough of it, I hate to say it, but it desensitizes you a little bit, It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that. It's like, gosh, what's wrong with us? It's still terrible.
I
It's
know.
still,
It's
it's
like,
still crazy.
oh, we've all seen that. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's normal. That's normal to see.
I had like going back on what I was saying earlier, how like sometimes we come up with these like silly like scenes for like just random films. Like when I watched The Fly for the first time, have you ever seen The Fly?
Yeah, we watched that in school.
You did? No way you watched that in school. The one with Jeff
Isn't that
Goldblum. One where he turns into he
isn't
like
that
creates a
all those kids?
teleporting.
There's all those kids.
No, there's no kids in this.
I'm
I
thinking
don't
of a
know what you're
completely
talking
different story.
about.
No, the fly and the pig or whatever. What's that?
Oh no, you're talking about what is that, Bessie or something? What is that called? The pig movie. No, no. Scarlet's Web?
No, it's a dark movie.
It's
I'm looking it
dark?
up. The pig, the f- the pig, and the fly. No,
I don't know what
I'll
you're
find
talking
it here.
about. Okay, well, I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore.
It was the you were bringing up the fly.
Oh yeah, yeah. So The Fly, gosh, is there a lot to fast forward through in that movie? But if you fast forward through most of those, naughty scenes, you gosh, you get a really rich story with Jeff Goldblum and this lady who finally shows him some compassion that he hasn't seen in his life before. But going in to see that, I had a weird image of Jeff Goldblum because obviously he eventually transforms into this horrifying fly monster. And I had this weird image of him in the bathroom looking at himself, and he sees himself transform, and he like squeals, or he like makes this weird like noise. And that I was watching it, and that thought, it was like so interesting to me. It made me want to watch the film, and then I ended up watching the movie. So, but it didn't end up happening. So I don't know where this stuff comes from, but I just wanted to say that. I wanted to get that off my chest.
Lord of the Flies. Sorry.
Lord of the Flies. Okay, that's based
Yeah,
on the book, right?
yeah. When you said the fly, I automatically thought that.
That's what it is. I remember that. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to some chats here. If you combine two, have you seen? Let's Let's see. Oh, I should probably star these or something. Actually, just watched it for the first time. Show my wife. Sorry, guys. I'm a little behind here. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. My bad. Awesome. Bucket Boy 2005. Soup Doc made me tear up multiple times. Soundtrack was awesome too. It was sad. It was sad. It was pretty political though. I didn't like how they slid that in there. Proctophile. Still haven't gotten over the loss of Robin Williams. I'll never forget his little mini docs as Genie titled Great Minds Think for Themselves. I haven't seen that. That sounds fun. I know. Gosh, no one has replaced any of those guys. I don't think they ever will be replaced, but no.
They're not meant
All
to be
right.
replaced.
It feels like so much comedy nowadays, just so deadpan. It's not even like fun anymore. The Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Do you think actors with a background in theater are overall better than those who don't? Like many English actors who do Shakespeare, like Ian McKellen or even Benedict Cumberbatch.
I
don't
agree.
know.
I think so. I mean, I know a number of actors who've done theater and they've turned out great. I mean, they do have a lot more experience. They know the true meaning of acting and all that, and they're not all of like most of the new actors out there who force comedy and
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm not bashing any actor in particular. It's just I feel like people who start, like older actors, like people who've starred in movies like in the early 2000s and to present. I feel like those are the best actors out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know it's crazy. I mean, early 2000s, like 2000 itself was 25 years ago. I mean, it's weird stuff. Such a weird crop of new actors. I feel like actors in general do a lot with theater though to get to the point where they are. But I don't know for sure, so I don't know what to say. I feel like one of my favorite actors that I'm just falling in love with now is Willem Dafoe. Oh my gosh, he is incredible nowadays. He came back.
He's getting boring.
He's getting boring to you?
Yeah, every trailer I see in theaters, he's in it.
I know, he's in everything now. He's coming back as a really old guy.
I liked him in Nosferatu.
I still need to see Nosferatu. I still need to see that. I think I might watch that in 2 weeks after we watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Gord King saw all of the Star Wars prequels in theaters 3 times each. Man, you're the man. I want to do that. Yeah, I'm curious to know. It's so funny they skipped episode 2. Like they did episode 1, they brought that back to theaters. I think that was last year. And now they're going to episode 3. I'd like to see episode 2. It'd be fun. You need to, man. It'd be nice if you were able to see episode 1 in theaters.
I know. I mean, I'll go and see it. But...
Yeah. The Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Hot take on old films. I'm not a huge fan of Orson Welles and his Citizen Kane, and that movie is supposed to be peak cinema. Have you seen Citizen Kane? I haven't either. I need to see that. Sorry, Brown Eyes. I'd like to. There's so many classics I'm still exploring. I love the older stuff, though. Like, really old. Citizen Kane, gotta be honest, I think it's boring. Oh, Gord King. He's not meshing well with Brown Eyes over here. That's all good. Proctophile. If you want to see a great Sam Jackson movie, check out Formula 51. Okay. Yeah, don't know what that is. Cool. I'm starting to, you know what? Watching these old Samuel Jackson films, it's getting me, I'm getting hooked. I loved him in Hateful Eight. And he was older there too. Gord King. As far as old movies go, Wizard of Oz, Casablanca, 12 Angry Men, The Red Shoes, Seven Samurai, those all blow Citizen Kane out of the water. Gosh, Wizard of Oz, I used to dog on Wizard of Oz for a long time. Just because I didn't know it well enough. I just remembered it for little things I'd seen when I was younger, and I thought it was lame, and it was a musical. And then I watched it again. Oh my gosh. How can you not fall in love with that story and those characters? Wow. Truly magical. Have you seen any of these recently, Luke?
Wizard of Oz, I went to see that in theaters when they re-released it. It was quite nice seeing it in theaters. It was very cinematic just to watch it and pretend you were watching it in 1939 when it came out. It's just awesome just to think it
When
was
was that? Was that recent?
Yeah, that was very recent.
Oh, that's cool.
But can I make a suggestion real quick?
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. I'd like to watch some of his older films. And
Okay.
with some of
Oh
the
man, have you seen Goodfellas?
Goodfellas, yes, with
Yes.
the mafia and all that. Well, we
They're
gotta watch.
making. He's doing. I don't like De Niro now. He's kind of a douche now. The actor. A lot of actors are turning out to be douches nowadays. I hate to say it. Everyone knows. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But he is in a new movie. I saw a poster for it. It's hitting theaters this week, I believe. And what was odd was the poster was advertising that the movie was made by the hit makers of Goodfellas, and there was another film. There was like 3 films. There was Goodfellas, and then something else, and then another film I had never heard of. And I think what's his face? Scorsese was attached to all 3 of those films, but it didn't say that it was made by Scorsese. So I think they're pulling at strings here, trying to make a connection so you'd be interested. But who knows? Maybe it's good. Let me see if I can find the name of it.
Why do that? I think
He's so old now. Oh my gosh.
He's not too old.
He's 81.
81. We have to watch Cape Fear. Have you ever heard of that?
Cape Fear?
He's like a stalker. It was released in 1991, I believe.
Oh.
He's we have to dig into. I've seen that once years ago with my mom, and I've been recently getting reels of scenes from the movie, and I feel like it'd be really interesting to watch again and dig into that.
I'm looking at his lineup. Maybe I'll share my screen so people can see.
That works.
Let's see. How do I do that? I'm an old man on here. Share screen.
Hit present.
Is easiest. Okay, let's try this out. All right, we want to show this. All right, can you see this cool?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's see. The new movie he's going to be in is called Alto Nights. I just saw the trailer or the poster for it here. Oh, here it is. Right here. Yeah, I believe this comes out this Thursday. Don't think there's too much on it. 92% like it, I guess. Pretty cheap. Yeah, March 21st. Oh, no. Okay, I guess that's next weekend then. My bad. I don't know too much about it. Yeah, let's see. What does it say here? From the hit makers of Goodfellas, The Irishman, and Bugsy. I mean, that sounds like Scorsese, but if it was Scorsese, they would have said it. So, yeah, I don't know. Who's going to be in that? Yeah, it's just De Niro, Cosmo Jarvis. Yeah, I don't know. Then Raging Bull. I was not a big fan of Raging Bull. Have you seen Casino?
No.
No? Yeah. Casino. Oh, no. Casino was great. I love Casino. Taxi Driver is freaky. Have you seen Taxi Driver?
I've tried to watch that once.
Oh, it's hard to watch. That's a tough one. Okay, let's see. Okay, where are we? Gord King. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Gord King. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Yeah, I like slow burns, but Citizen Kane was not too enjoyable. That and Casablanca are considered the peak artistic standards of film. I like Casablanca, but Citizen Kane, not my cup of tea. I need to see Casablanca too. Gosh, that's another one. Black and white doesn't faze me. It doesn't matter to me, so I need to pick these up. Have you seen Casablanca?
Mm-mm.
No, everybody talks about that one. That's a big one. Gord King, another phenomenal old film, All About Eve. 10 out of 10 easily. Wow. All About Eve. That's old? Huh. I don't know that one. Look that up. All About Eve. There's All About Steve. That's not it. 1950 comedy drama.
Oh, wow.
Bette Davis. Cool. Man. Proctophile. Let's see what you got. Imagine Patrick Stewart in Split. That would be so funny. You'd have to wheel him around in a wheelchair the whole time.
No.
And then he would be mixed up for Professor X, though, so they couldn't do that. The Brown Eyes. Weirdly enough, I think my favorite old film is Singing in the Rain. Haven't seen that one. Have you seen that,
Classic.
Luke?
I've seen
that. Good.
Years ago, it was classic.
Did you cry watching it?
Yeah, it was very, very, very sentimental.
Dang, all right.
I'm kidding.
I
was too young to understand that.
Maybe we'll revisit that one, Brown Eyes. TGV Monster, Glass ruined those 2 movies. Yeah. Okay, so you said you saw Glass?
Yes.
Wow. They did Bruce Willis dirty in that. They did him dirty. I think he drowned in a puddle, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that wasn't cool. Glass plot is broken. Has M. Night Shyamalan made a decent film in the last 10 years? That's my question. Let's deviate just for a quick moment, because I think this is a funny thought. Let's see. So we have M. Night. Let's look at M. Night Shyamalan's last 10 years. I love everybody. My favorite film of all time is Signs. M. Night Shyamalan. Oh my gosh.
With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes. You've seen Signs? Oh my gosh.
OG
wow.
Alien movie.
Yes. Wow. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. I could talk about Signs all day. Really mean a lot to me growing up. Let's see. So we got Trap. I guess nobody liked Trap. I wish this was in. Oh yeah, The Watchers. That wasn't really him. I think it was his daughter that made that, actually. Knock at the Cabin. I don't hear good things about that. Okay. Wow. I think his best movie in the last 10 years was The Visit.
Oh,
Have you seen The Visit?
Two grandparents.
Yes.
Do you mind cleaning that oven for me?
Oh gosh, that one was great. It's been
Jenga!
Has it been 10 years since he's done a great movie?
Yeah, that is a terrifying concept. Like, are they demonic? I forget. No, they're not even.
They're just nuts.
They're just random people who lure them into their house.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they think they're their grandparents.
Have you seen The Happening?
No.
Everyone dogs on The Happening, but I love The Happening. I don't know. Okay, so I could click this. Everyone dogs on The Happening. I love it so much. I don't know why. I really like Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I love him. He's awesome. Look at that. 17% Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
Oh, that's brutal.
That's painful.
It made good money. I don't know. It was interesting to me. I get people's frustrations. Let's see, what else do we have here? So, Visit was awesome. Signs, geez, all the way in 2002. Old. You remember Old?
Recap, you mean?
Well, actually, I don't remember Old very well. I know all these guys end up on this beach, and I don't remember if everyone starts going old, but I know weird things were happening. It's a very forgettable movie. And hence why it's not great, and it's not. That's why his 10 years have been so terrible. Caddo Lake, never heard of that. After Earth, that wasn't 10, and that was terrible. Yeah, this has been a rough decade. Yep. Nope. Man, come on, M. Night. That's sad. He had his time. All right, I'll stop sharing the screen. All right, TGV Monster. Legion, I think. Glass ruined those. Sorry, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about, but thanks for talking. Legion, yeah. Maybe that's a movie. Gord King. I think McAvoy's name was The Horde. Yep, it was The Horde. Yep, Proctophile. Thanks. Battlefield Earth is still one of my favorite comedies. I haven't seen that. Battlefield Earth. I've heard of it, though. Have you seen that?
No.
No, Battlefield Earth? No. All right, Proctophile. Thurman was in The House That Jack Built. Another rough one, but that ending is absolutely mind-blowing. Is it rough like it's rough like a rough story to get through? Like it's sad or it's intense? Or is it a terrible movie? Ending is absolutely mind-blowing. I love it when that happens. Heard similarly controversial hype around a movie called Cutting Moments. Mentally prepared myself for the worst, only to watch something like Tales from the Crypt. I haven't seen Tales from the Crypt either. I sound like I haven't seen anything. Everyone's mentioning big names. I can only see so much. Have you seen Tales from the Crypt? I feel like who made that? Tales from the Crypt. That's like one of those. That's sort of one of those classics. Tales from the Crypt. What's who made that one? I think it was like, yeah, let's see. It was a horror series.
Oh, yeah, it was television. 7 seasons. Wow.
Brad Pitt was on it? Tim Curry? Wow.
Tim Curry, yeah, he was an 89 kind of guy, like when it came to.
Oh, wow. Danny Elfman composed it. That's the correlation I know. Oh, my gosh. I love Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman is the reason why Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films, it's one of the reasons why they're the best. FYI. Yep. Proctophile. Aside from the last few minutes, it wasn't too bad. Okay. Brown eyes. It's funny how you talk about other people's opinions, voicing your impressions on movies. Like, I don't want to watch Game of Thrones despite its popularity because it's so famous for its vulgarity. Well, I don't know. I like to hear what other people think. And I think when someone has similar ideas as me, then I don't know. I take that. I have trust, some sort of trust. But, we all like different things, right? So sometimes you just got to figure it out yourself. Right, Luke?
Absolutely right. I mean, that's what makes it interesting.
And it's fun, it's fun talking to people that like different things, and have different opinions.
See people's views and whatnot.
Yeah. And it's good to explore. It's good to try new things that you're not used to. You're not used to watching and experience new mediums.
Yeah, like I'm personally a huge fan of like a lot of movies that Jackson doesn't like, Marvel. So
nice. I want to like it. Trust me, I want to. I'd love to like it again.
We got good things happening.
I lost my trust, buddy. Willem Dafoe is hilarious in Boondock Saints. That's another one I need to watch. Boondock Saints. I didn't know he was in that.
He's in everything now.
DMed, DM'd you the aforementioned Robin Williams videos on Twitter. Okay, cool, man. I'll have to take a look. Thanks, man.
That'll be interesting.
Cape Fear is good. It's also a remake of an old movie starring Robert Mitchum. Nice.
Cape Fear is based off a book that was made in 1959.
Who's in that again? Is that De Niro?
De Niro's in the new one. He's talking about the 1962 original. But yeah, De Niro's in there. I didn't know it was a remake. I thought it was just a De Niro, and then I researched, and then there was the original.
Oh, all right, cool, man.
Yeah. So.
All right, looks like Eric Parker is talking to the Gourd King. Both versions of Cape Fear were really good. All right, man.
See, hey, we have to watch that.
I guess so, man. They're talking. Proctophile. In Cape Fear, De Niro plays a man holding a grudge against a lawyer that had him wrongfully committed, and he really, really wants to make him regret it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he like goes for his... Oh, I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, he's very... You think that he's like... His character is very interesting. He's like very mysterious and like so powerful for no reason at all. It's good.
Oh, so, okay. Oh, cool. Everybody seems to like it. That's cool. Gourd King. Alto Knights is directed by Barry Levinson, who made Rain Man and Good Morning Vietnam. Ah, yes. I love Good Morning Vietnam.
Is that Robin Williams?
Yeah, that's a good one. I want to revisit that one again. Alto Knights. Oh, well, that's cool. Well, he sounds like a competent director. One of my favorite Scorsese movies is Hugo. It really expresses his passion for movies, and it's overall charming. Hugo, that's the one. What's that young? It's about the young boy. I think it has something to do with books. I don't really know much about Hugo. Or is it the clock? I remember like either a big clock in the picture or books. I don't know. Do you know who Hugo, Luke?
I was just about to ask. Let me look it up because
I think it has something to do with a giant clock. I have an image of a giant clock in my head.
Hugo, that sounds very familiar. Hugo, I could be thinking of something completely different. No, I'm not. No, I don't know anything about Hugo.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I love Scorsese. He's awesome. I wonder what he's gonna do next. Big Scorsese fan. I liked Killers of the Flower Moon, but we've had better. Eric Parker. One of my favorite old films is The Hustler with Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. Man, you gotta respect Paul Newman. I haven't seen anything with him, but what his foundation has done is incredible. Oh, The Hustler. Thanks, Eric. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Don't think you'll shed any tears with Singing in the Rain. It's a comedy.
You said it, not
me.
You
couldn't fool him, Luke. You couldn't fool Brown Eyes. Gourd King. Split was M. Oh, M. Night's last good movie. Oh, yeah, Split. I must have glossed over that. Was that? Yeah, that was like 2017, I think. That was a good one. That was sort of an event going to see that in theaters. That was fun. Everybody talked about Split. That image behind Brawler is nightmare fuel. Yes.
I said the same thing.
Right there. I don't think I can zoom in on here. Can I zoom? No, I can't. Yeah, that's OSHA in May as pictured as they should have been in the series. A monstrosity. Thank you. Split was 2016, just after The Visit. Okay. Wow. That was a good year for him. Then he lost his confidence, unfortunately. TGV Monster. Bird Box is a better version of The Happening. Yeah, I guess those are similar.
Oh,
Have you seen Bird Box?
Yes, I've seen Bird Box, so that makes me more interested in seeing The Happening.
Man, The Happening got so much trash. Like, everyone hated on it.
Well, looks like I gotta see my opinion.
It's like where the plants are sort of like, the plants exude this toxin that makes people off themselves. I think it's if the plants feel threatened, or yeah, it's really strange. It's weird. But like, the plants don't like come to life or anything. It's like if you are, I think if you're angry, or if somehow you upset like the plants around you, then they will exude this toxin that will make you off yourself. And that's what happens in the film. So it's sort of better to be in areas without like trees or bushes and stuff. It's pretty funny.
I just like those types of movies. I mean, it just makes you enjoy life so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just a movie.
Yeah, right. That's just a movie. We don't need to worry about that.
Life is so good.
Yeah, for real. All right. Eric Parker, The Happening equals tree make you walk backwards and die. Yep. You're right, Eric. Couldn't have said it any better. Gord King, The House That Jack Built is quite disturbing with its violence. The House That Jack Built. Okay, man. I don't like stuff that's super violent, like super gross. That's not me. Maybe it doesn't go too far, though. TGV Monster. The Crypt Keeper is such a fun host from Tales from the Crypt. I think that's like the zombie-looking dude, where he looks like an orc or like a skeleton. He's freaky. All right. The House That Jack Built is a movie about a serial killer sharing his stories. Very graphic stuff with excellent practical effects. Again, not for everyone, but you won't forget it. Wow, very graphic stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Might skip that one, man. Thanks for the recommend, though. Maybe Luke will check that out. Oh, Brown Eyes is leaving. I gotta go, guys. It's nice to chat about films with others. It's something I love exploring and not something I get to talk about much. You guys have great takes. Have a good night. Thanks, buddy. It's great talking to you. Thanks for joining us.
Mandalore.
Yes, sir. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. Good night. Oh, that's so sweet. Y'all are so nice. Gord King, The Happenings lesson: destroy nature before it destroys you. Yep. Yeah, that's the hidden meaning, right? That's the hidden meaning. Eric Parker, I'm a 50-year-old movie fan. It's really cool hearing a younger generation's opinions. Yeah, I think I'd like to get some more young voices involved with this. Luke's awesome. We have a good time seeing new movies and catching old films. So it's a real pleasure having him on here. I'm 23. How old are you? Are you 23?
23, yeah.
You're 23. We're both 23. Both love films. It's just encouraging watching the old stuff. And I hate to say it, there's just so many people in our age range, and especially younger than us, that are not visiting the older films. They don't care. They think they're completely irrelevant, and unfortunately, they are. They are for young audiences. So many young audiences, like somebody mentioned earlier, are brain rotted, and they can only pay attention for 10 seconds at a time. So disheartening. Is your sister kind of like that? Your younger sister?
Well, growing up, I kind of forced her to watch all these movies with me. So but she's not a movie person. So she has a really low, like she falls asleep if we try to see it in theaters. Sorry, other way around. That's why I take her to the theaters, because she's forced to pay attention.
Okay, good. Yeah, isn't that nice about the theater? I like that the theater is it's a house for film, right? I mean, it's a place where you provide your undivided attention to be engrossed in a story. And I feel like people are getting away with the phone stuff too often still. Getting on their phones, and it's distracting, and it takes you out. The theater is sort of it's a special place, and
it is. I greatly enjoy going to the theaters. I don't go as much as I like to. I have to gets the rewards, like I say every time I go there, which I have not yet. But long story short, I have to. I really enjoy seeing movies and going out and seeing the next big movie and
Oh
seeing
yeah.
people's, because I always ask people whenever they're leaving the theater, hey, what movie did you see? And
Uh-huh.
how was it? And that's how I heard of Hard Eyes, But it's
Uh-huh.
another
Did
story
you
for
saw
another
that
day.
one?
I have not seen that, but oh yeah, you
Okay.
were with me. They said the host or guy was saying that
Oh yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
different
he
one.
said it was like a surprise. It was like funny or something.
Yeah.
Like you didn't think it'd be like a funny movie or whatever. It was like totally misleading. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too, is it's just not part of culture anymore. Film has not become part of culture. It's all these dumb little videos that you find on your phone, which are fun. I think they're fun. Some of them.
Yes.
I think making that your mainstream entertainment's bad. It's not good for your mind to be entertained by 5 second little funny clips, even though they have their place sometimes. But it's just not relevant. Young people aren't talking about movies unless they are the remakes, the sequels, or the big box office films. All the poor, sweet little indie films, they're completely pushed under the rug by young people. I recommend you, Luke, to check out. I guess I'll tell you later, but there's a indie film, or there's an indie theater close to where we live, and I go there. It's pretty great. It's downtown, and wow, great, really good, soulful films, the indie films that they're showing. There's still some hope in indie, and there's a lot of weird ones too. But one of my favorite movies of last year was Dee Dee. Oh my gosh, wow, an incredible film, kind of new age. But yeah, let's talk. Sin, one of our friends, Sin's Corner. I've only seen The House That Jack Built once. I believe it stars Matt Dillon. Man, this movie just keeps popping up. The house that Jack, all right, The House That Jack Built. So that's the movie. Man, maybe we'll have to watch this one. Thanks for joining me, Sin. Sin's Corner. The old stuff is some of the best. The best. You know better than me, Sin. It's absolutely true. Gord King. It's the new stuff which is comparatively irrelevant. Got to educate them kids. Yes, exactly. I'm involved in an institution where kids are part of this nonprofit I work for, and the kids they do like movies, but they don't give them much thought, and it's always refreshing when you see some of them interested in talking about new films. So I always try to recommend the old stuff for whatever's appropriate. I'll say one more thing about that. I think there's two areas of modern Hollywood, modern cinema that I think are doing great. One is animation. I I feel like I never thought I'd be a big animation guy, but I have absolutely fallen in love with animation last year. I think the best films of last year were all animated films. Flow was amazing. Wild Robot was amazing. Inside Out 2 was amazing. Dogman, that was more recent, but that one was amazing. Transformers 1 was amazing. They're all amazing. I mean, amazing is the word to use. They're not just good, they're amazing. Really rich stories, and they're mature. They're mature stories, and they're real. They have substance. They're human. The other thing is Angel Studios. If you're not a Christian, you don't need to be a Christian to watch these things. They're not preachy. They're Christian based, but they're not preachy films at all. They're films that feature the human experience, and that's my main thing. It's just movies that focus on the human experience, what it's like to be a person, the trials and tribulations of that are uncomfortable, that aren't fun to talk about. They just capture that so well, and I fall in love with so many of the great films Angel Studios has been making. It's really delightful to see what they've become. Have you seen any Angel Studios films, Luke?
Is Passion of the Christ?
No, that was way before. Unless maybe that was early beginnings. I don't think so. That was like Mel Gibson's show.
Then
They did, let's see, recently they did Brave the Dark, which was really good. They did Sound of Freedom, which is wow, gangbusters, insane. They did, I believe they did Cabrini. I don't know if they did Cabrini. Let me check. Angel Studios. I don't want to mix up my ones here. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sound of Hope was really good. Everyone seemed to love The Shift. The Shift was pretty powerful. And oh yeah, yep, they did Cabrini. And Sound of Freedom is one of my favorite movies of all time. Wow, it's incredible. And these guys they're filling a void. They are telling stories that we used to get in the early 2000s and the 90s that the big studios don't want to make anymore, which is just simple stories about normal people, which is encouraging. Eric Parker, I just watched Blade Runner again last night. Have you guys seen it? Luke?
Read the book.
Oh, okay.
Never seen the movie though. I remember when it was in theaters, I was interested in seeing it, but I never happened to go.
I haven't seen them either. I need to see them. My pops loves. Well, he's kind of obsessed with the new one. He likes watching the clips. I don't know if he's actually seen the whole thing or not, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Ryan Gosling guy. You like Ryan?
Yeah, I like Ryan Gosling.
He's all right. I think he's kind of annoying.
He is a Hollywood kind of guy.
Yeah, but hey, I'm glad you like him. That's good, and a lot of other people do. Sin's back at it. Let's see. Movies like Alien and Terminator 2, best movie ever. Everyone says that. Holds up so well. They just don't make them like that very much anymore. No. I hate to say it. I didn't like Alien very much. I didn't like Alien. I'm not a big James Cameron guy. Sorry. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I loved Predator. I loved the first Predator. Have you seen Predator, Luke?
I've seen Predator.
That was fun.
With
Arnold
and Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold and
Schwarzenegger.
Paulo.
Oh yeah. Carl Weathers.
Carl
Oh
Weathers.
yeah, I love him. I don't think, is it right behind me? Yeah. So you pointed out earlier, but I got Carl Weathers' autograph right here,
Dude,
right before he died. That was
man.
awesome meeting him.
Rip.
I know, that sucks.
Yeah.
Proctophile, you guys watch everything. Oh yeah, you guys watch everything everywhere all at once. Definitely one of the best newer movies I've seen. I've seen it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't know. I thought it was kind of gross. Jamie Lee Curtis freaked me out in that. She was gross. And the hot dog scene, oh my gosh. Oh,
Hot dog scene.
oh, the hot dog fingers. Oh my gosh.
Huh? Okay, well, I'm not gonna.
It's gross. It's gross. It's very creative. Creative movie.
I'm just gonna leave that one unknown.
A lot of people, yeah, Mahler loves Everything Everywhere All at Once. Cool, man. So you haven't seen it?
All I know now is hot dog fingers. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's super trippy. That's a small part of it. It's like a multiverse film. It's really weird. Sin's Corner. Young people are easily entertained by subpar writing / movies. It's sad. It is sad, like, and it's encouraged. It's encouraged. People are paying for these movies. They're paying to watch them, and nobody seems to know the difference. Just normal viewers, the traditional audience doesn't seem to know the difference. But at the same time, I wonder, like, I can't really blame young people for shifting their focus from movies to short-term entertainment, because movies have been so terrible since 2020. They've been terrible across the map, especially what's been hitting the mainstream in the big theaters. So I can understand, and I think naturally audiences, young and old, probably can tell the difference between a quality film and a non-quality film. They might not be able to understand why, but they are definitely being worked, though. Young audiences are being worked for, I don't know, I guess for the hype of maybe enjoying something that their parents did. Maybe there's sort of a familial side of the remakes and the sequels. Yep, indie films are where it's at, I think. Yeah, they're where it's at. You ever watch any indie films, Luke? It's kind of hard to, sometimes it's hard to diagnose what an indie film is. Sometimes indie films make it to the big theaters.
I mean, not anything big and worth it. I mean, I can look up a couple and see because I can't think of any on the spot right now.
It's kind of, they're all, indie, they're independent. It's easy to forget sometimes. Eric Parker. Oh, what was that?
Sorry, I'm not sure if it's indie, but it's that one guy. James Franco does a remake. It's called The Disaster Movie. It's
Was
Oh
this
Hi
recent?
No, it's like Oh Hi Mark. It's I've seen that movie.
Oh, you're talking about, okay. Well, that was on like Netflix, wasn't it?
No, like the original, like the actual
Oh, The
movie.
Disaster Artist,
No, yeah, that was the
the one
remake
with
though.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, but that was they were remaking what the original was.
Oh,
I think that one was an indie, like the one they were
hmm.
talking about referencing.
No, I don't
Yeah,
know. Huh.
yeah,
Well, maybe so. That's an interesting choice.
yeah.
Hey,
It was
whatever works.
it was funny.
You've seen some. It's hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah.
Eric Parker. One of the best movies I've seen is called Sleeping Dogs with Russell Crowe. It came out in 2024. If you haven't seen it, you should. Sleeping Dogs. That sounds familiar. Is that like a gangster movie? Sleeping Dogs. Let's take a look.
Sounds like it.
Sleeping Dogs. Oh, 2024. Oh, wait, no, that's a video game. Sleeping Dogs, Russell Crowe. Whoops.
Watch
Oh,
Dogs.
wait, no. Here
Watch
we
Dogs
go.
is a video game.
Oh, no, it is 2024. Karen Gillan's in it. Martin Sokas. Yeah, I don't know this one. Okay. Hey, he's in something decent nowadays? That's surprising. Unhinged was fun with him. I remember seeing that in theaters in 2020. That was awesome. Man, I love seeing how active people are in the chat. Thanks, guys. I like hearing everyone's opinions. Since Corner, what's pretty dejecting is when you introduce fantastic classics to kids and they're like, meh, it was boring. Arg. Yeah. Yeah. There's something about just a young mind that can't understand these. They can't understand the value of these of the lessons from these films either. 100%. I'm not religious at all, but Sound of Freedom and C still hit me pretty hard. I think maybe C. I don't know if C. Maybe you're talking about Sight, or maybe something else. Sight. I haven't seen that one. I'm glad it hits hard though. I might check that out. But yeah, it's just values that people can grow to love and respect, and then that's what people like to see. They like to see goodness prevail. That's what they do best. Sound of Freedom was an Angel film. Yes. Oh my gosh, what a blessing! That really skyrocketed Angel Studios into the mainstream. What a blessing. Sin's Corner. The Shift was also an Angel Studio film, but that one was pretty bad in my opinion. Oh, I've heard good things about The Shift. Well, I'm curious about why you don't like it. Oh wait, here we go. Well, I part ways with people on The Shift. Did not like that one at all, which was surprising. Oh, here we go. Let's go, Gord King. I'm devoutly Christian, and I do appreciate that Angel Studios movies don't always put message over storytelling. A lot of Christian movies are unfortunately cringy, and that's true. It's so funny how if you don't like, there's something about like preaching and like I guess maybe just leading by example in the film. That's something that works real well. Um, yeah, sadly, I like the preachy ones sometimes too, but sometimes it could be a little too much. It's all about delivery, right? Good to hear, Gord King. Proctophile, sight, not see. Yep, you're all good, man. Eric Parker, I was talking about the first Blade Runner, not Blade Runner 2049. Okay. Sounds like you might dog on the new one then, man. Sin's Corner, the Gord King agreed. Some of the better ones lately were the best Christmas pageant ever, and the Unbreakable Boy. Okay, I'm hearing good things about Unbreakable Boy. I think I might have to see that. I'm not a big fan of the young actor in Unbreakable Boy. He was kind of weird in 8-Bit Christmas. Have you seen that, Luke? 8-Bit Christmas?
I'm not.
No. Oh my gosh. Well, now it's completely irrelevant, but that is it's the best Christmas movie that's come out in a very long time. 8-Bit Christmas. And the young man from Unbreakable Boy who stars in that film is a plays a role in that movie. It's awesome.
Huh.
Yep, Predator was great. Yes, it was. Sorry, I wish I liked Alien like you. Proctophile, you and I got to talk sometime, brawler. It'll be a blast. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I appreciate you talking to me, man. We haven't talked before, so let's talk sometime. I think you're with a Northern English bastard. That's another cool YouTuber. Everything Everywhere All at Once was ... enjoyable. but I felt it was very overrated and super bandwagony with the award stuff. Yeah, I really didn't like when the lesson was sort of learned at the very end of the film and everything came together. It was like, okay, yeah, I know what you're doing here. Disaster Artist. Yep, that was the one we were talking about. Disaster Artist was about the filming of the worst movie ever, The Room.
The Room. Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes, yes. That's what I was talking about.
what was the one with Kim Jong Un?
Oh,
Was
that was
that
the interview. That was
the interview? That's what I was thinking of.
completely different than The Room. Like this is not a comedy. This
Oh,
isn't
I
even.
want to see that then.
It's not.
Disaster Artist.
Yeah, it's James Franco. He's supposed to be the guy who's the lead role in The Room. It's funny because it's not. I don't
Oh,
think it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be like a movie about. I don't even know. The
hmm.
acting is unbearable. That's the funny part. It's awful.
Oh, well, they definitely did it as a joke. Like that's the one movie that everyone knows is like trash.
No, it looks like somebody picked up a camera and started recording. That's
Hmm.
that's what it's like.
Nice. Sin's Corner again. Regarding The Shift, I did a whole live stream after watching it and got a bit ranty about it. Haha. Faith-based films often don't work well, unfortunately. Hey, now, I don't know. They're coming back, Sin. Give them a chance. Brave the Dark was awesome. I thought it was a lot of fun. And Sound of Hope was really good too. I loved that film. Didn't think I would at all. I saw it in a little nonprofit theater about 20 minutes away from me. Real pleasure watching it. Wow. Sin's Corner. I'm wondering if that actor from The Unbreakable Boy is actually autistic in real life, like he is in the movie. Yeah, I know. He plays it well. Uh, I don't know. That's a good question. All right, then we got the Gourd King here, ending the stream with the Gourd King himself. Love Disaster Artist. The Room, however, is far from the worst movie ever. And I'm not just saying that because I ironically enjoy The Room. There are far worse movies than The Room, I assure you. That's
That's
funny,
that's
man.
that's hard to beat though when it comes to in the
Have you
worst.
seen the original Room? Have you seen like the original Room movie? The Room. Is that what it's called?
The one they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Is it long?
It's eh, not too long.
I think I would try if it's not super long.
Let's see. I'm gonna give it 90 minutes. The Room runtime. Okay. Okay. Yeah, hour and 39 minutes. So yeah, about 90.
Wow. Ooh, I don't know if
Yeah.
I could suffer through that. The Room was not done as a joke, funnily enough. The guy who did it was super serious about it. The
Yeah.
Disaster Artist was pretty comedic, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, on purpose.
All right. Eric Parker. I'm not religious, but speaking of those types of movies, I really like Nefarious with Sean Patrick Flannery. That was a pretty good one. The very end was meh, but one of Flannery's best performances, in my opinion. Yeah, I remember seeing that pop up. I don't know what was religious about it. Um, I know it got a lot of crap for that, but I haven't seen it. I don't know who Sean Patrick Flannery is either. The name sounds familiar, but I have been curious about that one. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, Nefarious was good. Sin agrees with you, man. Gord King, Room is a Brie Larson drama and a good movie. The Room is the Tommy Wiseau movie, which is hilariously bad. Yeah, when I said Room, that popped in my head.
That's
I
what I
was
said.
not trying to make that correlation, but I think that's it for us today, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for the Box Office Brawler first live stream. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for your patience with us. I don't really, not too familiar with streaming software. It's weird. I don't know if everybody can see that cute StreamYard duck in the top right hand corner. It's a little distracting, but it pops up on here. But Luke here, he is not necessarily a movie reviewer, but do you want to tell everybody what you are up to?
Just I every Friday night I just hop on my computer and I stream whatever horror game or usually horror game I find. Usually a cheaper game like Backrooms or Phasmophobia. I collab with some people sometimes, like just anybody really, anyone who's down to play. Yeah, I free time I eat a lot of food. I'm a competitive eater. So nothing really interesting. I'm a competitive eater. I stream horror games. Yeah, Just
Cool, man.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I can't live up to box office brawler right here. He's way out of my league. But
Nah, man.
I'm just here to entertain.
Luke's the man, guys. Luke's the man. Sub to him if you want to check out his content. He's a great guy, and I'm looking forward to doing some more videos with him. This is awesome. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we definitely.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. And thank you all for watching. I think we're going to try to make this regular on Tuesday nights. So if you had a good time with us today, we will be talking about different movies every week based off what the guys watch on Tuesday night movie night. Every Tuesday we meet, we watch cult classics. Sometimes we'll watch newer stuff. Not really. It's pretty much the cult classics. And join us here 10:30 p.m. Eastern time to talk all about it. And as you see, we deviate. We talk about other things too. It's fun. We talk about modern stuff.
We went from Pulp Fiction to The Room.
Yes, totally polar opposites. So thanks everybody so much. I'll answer a couple more of these real quick. I don't want to leave anybody out. That's not cool. That's not cool, is it, Luke?
No.
Let's see. Gord King. Oh, we said that. Thanks, buddy. Eric Parker. Good night, guys. Hopefully soon you get super chats. It's all good. Free is fine with me. Thanks, buddy. Since corner, Sean Patrick Flannery was in Boondock Saints and the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Wow, Young Indy. I'm definitely curious if you've watched Young Indiana Jones. That I guess that was sadly one of George Lucas's biggest failures, which didn't land too well, sadly. But thanks for joining us, Sin. Proctophile, good times. Glad I could be here for your first time. Thanks, man. Yeah, pleasure having you on here. Thanks so much. God bless and gourd speed. But yes, thus ends the first stream on here, Box Office Brawler. Thanks so much for watching. Before you go, if you leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, check out Galliardo's channel as well. If you want to see what he's up to, support him, support a young talent because it's great and he does good stuff. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.
See you, everyone.